Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. We are kicking it off here on the Daddy PB's account, which is Warlord Nation for all those that are curious. Baby Way is definitely a Way account. We did okay last time event. We managed to secure around 100, I'd say, 100 tokens, whereas the consumables, where are you? Why have you disappeared from where the fuck I'm looking? Uh, I know I got like 100 of them. There we go. There we go. So we got 100 of these ones saved up for when the Generation 2 time heroes come out. Obviously, by then we might be able to save up a couple more in between. Just depends on the frequency of the events to get that guaranteed drop. If you haven't already checked out the previous video of Celery's account, it is absolutely possible to get to a 4-star if you do save up 300 of those tokens because of the pity system, and of course a little bit of RNG. We did manage to drop a couple of complete copies, which is fantastic. Now, in terms of today's video, there's not a great deal to cover. It is the most expensive gold fucking sucking duo of all time. That is the Transformation Event and, of course, the Annihilation Event. Each has its own, I wouldn't to say, benefits, pros and cons. If I was to realistically hedge my bets, I'd probably say Annihilation Event is more worthwhile just because you don't need as much of the currency as you would need in the Transformation Event. However, the reward range has been updated, meaning we could potentially get some cool stuff from here as well. We'll be covering those two in a second. Is there anything else special that's popped up on the Asian server? We'll definitely claim those. Monthly fund ends in a day and a half, so if you are deciding whether or not that's for you, you do have another day to jump in and grab these ones before they leave the option to be purchased. For anyone that's curious, you can get 1.5 of the legendary varieties, or basically a 2-star. Serpent Halberd would be my guess is probably the best one to go for, and you can get 1.5 sets of the Vanquisher gear. If anybody was curious about the overall rewards, there they are. But in terms of what we want to do today, let's keep it semi-decent, maybe under 20 minutes if we're lucky. Paper Charms. Paper Charms is where it's at. A lot of people have already either asked me in the comment section down below on Discord whether or not they should buy the legendaries. I will say this, if you want to get a legendary transformation, be aware that it is going to be at its very, very base form. Like anything in the game, there's always multiple fucking layers. Now, for transformations, rule of thumb is if you were to look at them, it will tell you, or it should tell you, that it is all based on how many legendary outfits or skill level stars it is. So essentially, the higher amount, well, the higher amount, the more fucking legendary outfits you can acquire, the more stars that your transformation of that variety gets. So an example is if I had all 3 epic outfits that are currently available in the game, then my star level for any of the epic transformation charms would be 3, and that means that the skill damages get buffed and so on and so forth. Now the same is for mystics. I don't know whether or not that means we're going to get an outfit for that, but we'll be exploring that a little bit later on when it does drop, of course. Definitely going to give you balls deep in that one. But in terms of that, that's just a little bit of a highlight. We'll just grab those rebates because it'll nag me with the little button thing. But in terms of what you need to do and what you should do is, I don't feel like it's a bad investment to go with a legendary transformation charm. Just be aware though that most players are aiming for legendary outfits. So if you want to go for a legendary outfit, it's essentially going to cost you 10 of the full paper charms. And to get a full paper charm, you need 160 of the paper charm shards, which are little white things up there. and then you get one full red piece. And of course, that means you basically, that's like two full legendary transformations. It really does hurt. If you're a whale or a megalodon or in that category, I would recommend just going straight in and grabbing your transformation. If you're a free to play player, there are other ways to acquire transformations. However, outfits so far have been limited to only the transformation event. If you are patient and if you are lucky, and you're a free to play player or a low spender, I mm, I would probably recommend going for a legendary outfit. Dragon Hair's pretty damn cool. And of course, there's Wolfhammer, which is kind of like a DPS skin, whereas this one's, I think it's a CC if I'm not mistaken, burns them and reduces rage. So this is definitely a Woo Nation outfit, 110%. Does Wolfhammer do anything? No, kind of like a Marchow, but it stuns. Very nice. Again, these are kind of the two mandatories that you'll have to get. The only other way to get a legendary skin is from the VIP 15. So about 20,000 USDs will get you a legendary skin that way. Otherwise, like us mere mortals, you need to get it from the outfit shop. Also to note, your transformations will appear in the arms race, and they will cost about 1,000 of the gold merit. So if you've been saving up or you have the capacity to save up, that's another place that you can get legendary transformations depending on your situation. I probably wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend getting your charms. However, play the game the way you like to play the game. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions. Join us on our Discord. It is in the link in the description down below. Anybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. But in terms of everything else, there are some additional hero outfits apparently. I don't know what that actually means, but I figure it's going to be the legendary variety. Generation 5 is here. Lu Bu, the badass, the man of the hour. Pretty sexy. Xiao Xiao. Ooh, okay. All right. You're rocking it. If anyone's wondering, it just gives everybody in your team plus 5% to attack, defense, and HP. It's a nice little bit of a power boost. Guan Yu looking pretty badass, actually. And then last, of course, is Zhao Yu. Kind of average, not going to lie. You kind of look at. I sort of prefer you without the skin look. But anyway, I'm biased. Actually, yeah. Why would you not want to have the fucking demon looking dude? For the 200 paper sham shards, it's going to be interesting. By the way, you'll be able to get these in the arms race as well. Is it worth it? I feel like in a situation like this, I've made the mistake in the past. I've given in to being a dirty skin collector already. It's potentially not going to be good for me. Let's be honest, I really should just be saving up for a legendary skin or a legendary transformation. So I might have to resist, as hard as that may be. In terms of this though, we do have some cool things. So this was previously available to purchase in a package. You needed 2 of these tokens to make 1 full charm. It cost you about 300 Australian dollars. So about 220 USD to acquire the legendary transformation charms. You need to get 2 of them to make a full one. And then when you made a full one, you could, of course, go in here and select any of the newest transformations. Um, Again, that's purely whale territory, ladies and gentlemen. Don't freak out. You can get it with 400 shards. I think that's only a shard though, so you need 400 paper shard charms. So if you only bought one of those packages and you only have half the legendary transformation charm, and you manage to get 400 shards, you could potentially change that into like another paper shard. And that way you could then get your legendary transformation that way if you're on a budget, or if you just made a mistake thinking that it was the full deal. It has happened many times. Don't worry. PP has done it. If you're interested in it, this is a legendary charm selection box, not charms, stargazing puck selection box. You can go in here and pick the ones that do not drop from the premium stargazing. It is a very important thing to note. You cannot get everything from the premium stargazing. So there are going to be some situations where you have to either purchase it through here or purchase it through the arms race or celebrate festival for gold. But there is a random one too. I don't know why you picked that. That just doesn't make any sense. You you would pick this for an extra 10 shards. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That is it in a nutshell. Now, if you wanted to convert your, say, paper full charm into shard pieces for whatever reason, not recommending doing that. This is where you could do it over at this tab as well. Is there anything else that we need to cover? We've got Shu, we've got Yu, we've got Wu, we've got Warlords, pretty much stock standard. If you were thinking about getting your first epic transformation, I would recommend not going ahead with that. I would strongly recommend just going into your wishing shop, into the transformation tab, and saving up your 4,000 wish crystals to get it from here. I get Sun Quan. Sun Quan is fantastic in Trial of Champions, or the Trials of Towers, whatever you want to call it. We'll do that a little bit later. What have we got? Okay, City Siege. Make sure you're doing your City Siege. Um, I think I just like to do Chengdu, man. I'm pretty basic when it comes to this. Make sure you're doing it. You can get some free stuff. We could do some, because this video is really not going to be a fighting video. We might as well do a couple here. Skip that. Let's get a little bit higher to a little bit more of an interesting team to verse. Is there anyone up there that's worthwhile having a go at? Maybe you for 4 million, 4 billion, I should say. Um, they seem really low at the moment. A lot of these guys seem very low in power level. It'll change. I'll probably drop down to major, I'd say. I won't be able to get any higher than that. I could sneak into maybe the top 10. Maybe the top 10. I forget. Is that major the top 10? I can't remember. I can't even remember. I really don't pay too much attention to this. But make sure you're doing it just so you can grab your stuff. Where's Doom? Doom Lucky's up there. I'm sure there's the Doom guy up here. Yeah, 26 billion. Then we got like 600 billion. And then Mighty Booms with 26 billion up there. Well, we might be able to tangle in the top 6. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, make sure you're doing that. Grab your rewards. Don't miss out. Is there anything else that we need to do? We need to talk a little tiny bit about Annihilation Festival as well, being the counterpart to the Transformation event. Now, this one doesn't really you can just use these. You don't need to hoard these kind of. It doesn't make any difference to you. You know, you do your 10 bombs each day. You will obtain at least, I want to say, 10 a day from just doing your daily login plus your missions. Obviously, we did purchase some stuff prior to this anyway. So we got 58 of those. But in terms of like reward structure, I guess we can talk a little bit about probability. You need silver axes. You do get a guaranteed 2 silver axes per 20 draws. And basically you can exchange silver axes for the Vanquisher set shards. Now these ones are a little bit lower in terms of how many you will require, just because the Vanquisher pieces you need a shit ton to deck out your heroes. But in terms of that, you need 75 of the, basically you need 75 of these dudes. You need 75 of the silver axes to get 1 full piece of gear, and this is kind of where you can get it. Now, if you get really lucky, and I think the probability drop rates aren't too bad on this one, it's a 0.36% chance to get a gold axe, and then you can straight swap it for a Vanquisher piece of gear. However, it is an interesting thing to talk about because they oftentimes include this option here. And so do not make the mistake of just jumping in and getting Vanquisher. It really does depend on where you are in the game, but right here is phenomenal value. One silver axe can be exchanged for 1 of these shards. Now you need 100 of these shards to build the item entirely. So if we get lucky and we get 100 pieces, I will indeed be buying out this so I can build the rest of the Sun Sword, and I want to build the Blue Blade as well. I kind of like Annihilation Event specifically for this. If you are, of course, like newish to the game or mid-range and you're still looking at working on some of your, I guess, epic weapons, if you're still using those ones, make sure you grab them with the bronze axes because they drop like a lot. If you, of course, have already maxed everything out for your bronze axes, you can go ahead and grab some beast stones as well. But in terms of this is where I guess it separates the boys from the men, or the spenders and the end game players, because you would potentially be focusing on grabbing some of these grade 3 legendary random chests. Now, keyword, they are fucking random. You will not always get the ones you want. However, with the amount of beasts that you have already able to level up, chances are you're going to get something that you can use. For 160 of these lovely little axes, you can start to work towards that. Would I recommend it early game? No, not at all. Even though it is a bit of a power boost, I would probably recommend sticking to getting your first legendary weapons and then slowly but surely working on your Vanquisher gear sets. There are a couple more options though as you progress into the late game, mainly in Trial, if I can get there, if I remember how to get there. Warriors Trial, basically, you can start to exchange for the legendary shards after you reach 600 stars. And this is where I kind of classify late game. Mid game, you'd be pushing it if you're a VIP. Obviously, you could get to 600 stars, but most people will find themselves only achieving 600 stars towards the later part of the game. Make sure you're getting your do essence here, and don't do what PB does. Make sure you grab the Quillians as well. I need to go and do my dailies to get the Black Quillians to upgrade my shit to legendary. It's very, very important. Very, very important. But anyway, that's a way for you to get the Vanquisher pieces. So at that point, you're probably not wanting to grab them out of here, out of the shop. You're probably more focused on getting them like in this range. I'd say you're more focused on getting some grade 3 gear as well as potentially some of the legendary shards. However, if you do have any more in-depth questions about that, or you just are a little bit confused, hit me up in the comment section down below. Let me know if you managed to land any of the awesome axes, or if you managed to land any of the full charm pieces. Now, it'd be remiss of me not to talk a little bit about this. The drop rates are fucking atrocious on this game for the transformation event. In fact, they don't even disclose them to us. The mere peasant viewers do not have an idea what the fucking drop rate is. If I was to hazard a guess, it would be 0.18%, potentially a little bit higher. However, in the course of this transformation event, it is very, very rare to see a full screen of paper charms being dropped for anyone. And I've done this quite a lot. I generally wait and do 100 charms. Honestly, I've probably only gotten 2 charms in my life of doing potentially, I want to say, over 500, maybe 600 of these charm orbs, and I've gotten 2 out of the entire time. So yeah, not that fantastic in terms of drop rates, but you can get some guaranteed 12 of the basic shards. So remember, you need 160 of those shards to make one full charm. So you do have like a little bit of a pity system there. And of course, you can grab some gold and a gold jackpot, which is fucking redonkulous. Why would you include that? It's almost as bad as Billionaire Event. I felt so dirty getting the double jackpot for 6,666 gold on Yawning Way. You could have given me 2 fucking gold mouse, but no. No, that didn't happen. Uh, anyway, we were going to go to a happy place. We're going to forget about it. Last but not least, before we move on to the actual summoning event, if you are crazy like PB is and you want to waste some gold, it will cost you 15,000 gold pieces to get 50 additional transformation orbs. We're going to go ahead and purchase those out because we are on the journey of lunacy. Ugh, not even a word. Anyway, we're going to do that. We're going to summon it out. We're going to show the viewers just how bad this could be. Now, if I do, for some reason, pull a paper charm, I'd like to stress at any point during the video, there is no probability rate. It is just simply, yeah, it's really just raw luck. Anyway, let's just do it. Let's see if we can land anything. It is entirely possible we do manage to get a charm. I'm hopeful. I'm fucking hopeful. Of course, there we go. We did get the guarantee 12 there. So in all honesty, if you did 100 per event, um, if you bought them all out, you did 100 per event, you could potentially get I want to say you could get a legendary charm within maybe 6 months. As a free to play player, just by spending gold, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a bit less, depending on your RNG. My RNG on this event has not been fantastic. We did manage to somehow get a full fucking screen of those, though. I'm not really going to complain about that. How many we got? 46 more to go. Let's keep going. Nothing fantastic there. Another 10 bomb. And then we got the guaranteed. How many we got? 26 more. Let's go. And last 10 bomb, we should get the guaranteed here as well. And what else we can do? We can do some solos. If we land on solo, I'd laugh. I'd laugh uncontrollably and have to end the video. I don't think we're gonna get it on solo, Paul. No, we didn't. But that's it. So there you go. An example of just how bad the RNG is on this event. However, we do have 230 of those little paper charm shards. So why don't we go into the shop? Why don't we purchase one? It's as simple as that, exchanging 160 shards for one charm. I mean, overall, it's probably gonna. I mean, fuck. If I go at it like this every time this arrives, and it probably pops up maybe twice a month, if we're give or take twice a month, we could potentially get a legendary charm outside of like 6 months, I'd say. Maybe give or take, if I don't have to spend any more money on it, and maybe if I get some RNG. Realistically, it is a terrible event. If you're looking to get the jackpots, and even when you get the jackpots, you need 5 of the fuckers to get a legendary transformation. Anyway, let's jump on here. Let's try the Annihilation out. Let's see if we can get to 100 silver axes, or we can get a gold axe. Again, because PB just loves to spend gold, he's going to spend another 9,000. And there you go. So 9,000 is going to get you 30 additional tokens, which is going to put us to 88. Very auspicious number. We'll do some solo bombs. Let's see if we get lucky. I have seen many people get multiple gold axes. So uh, can we be one of those multiple people? That would be fantastic. Let me know in the comment section below how you went in transformation. If you decided to spend the gold, if you decided to spin that wheel. Um, yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear when people actually get good stuff. Sadly, it's not always the case. Let's do some 10 bombs. Let's see if we get lucky. You can get between 1 and 2 silver axes, and you can get between 1 and 3 bronze axes. So, yeah, anyway, how many more draws? We've got 60 more draws. We could get really lucky. I know we're going to get over 100, so either way, it's not a bad investment in terms of gold, because that's a guaranteed 7-star sword and a guaranteed blue blade, basically. I think we need another 45 bronze axes, though, so maybe not a guaranteed. It will be guaranteed if we can get a gold silver axe, no, a gold axe. Come on, give me a gold axe. Just one. No luck. 88, we did not get one, but we did get 133, which means tomorrow we should be able to get those additional ones, which is 10. Maybe spend a tiny bit of money and clutch up and grab the rest of that. And then, of course, be back for the video while we build that and talk about the next event when that finally pops up. If anyone is curious, you can, of course, acquire some additional Annihilation tokens from this on a daily when it is available. For some reason, this seems like the season only goes for like 2 days or 3 days, and it's like over for like 2 weeks. Maybe I'm exaggerating that, but it just seems like it's never ever up. And then when it's up, I like look at it and it's like, poof, gone, vanished the next fucking day. Anyway, hopefully you found this semi-informative, semi-entertaining. I will catch you all in the next one. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification button. I think we're going to be doing a gold video next. Yeah, a day in the life of a free-to-play gold hoarder would probably be a great title. Basically, because everybody asks, so what do I do with my gold, or how do I get gold? And they are fantastic questions. And I will probably be able to answer them now, having played this for a little while. Anyway, thank you again, and I'll catch you all in the next one.